Even though I know I will see him again, I am heartbroken. But I will always have his love and memories to cherish him. And I love you, Dad. And I hope you're having the best time with your best friend. Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
So good.
This one isn't as heartfelt, but it's from David. If you know, you know. Okay, that was beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here today, and I'd like to first apologize that I myself cannot be there. As you know, I'm currently finishing up another tour in our fine country. I will be home in just under another 3 months, and I'm hoping that we can all get together again soon and celebrate the life of my late father. In the meantime, I've sent my amazing, beautiful wife, who is much more enjoyable to look at than me, and I'm sure will represent me impeccably. Now I'd like to start with a memory of my dad that will always keep him alive in my heart. When I was around 4 or 5, my father bought me my first bike. And I remember this bike was way too big for me. And I said, Daddy, we're going to put training wheels on this thing, right? And he said, Marchese's don't do training wheels, kid. I knew right then it was going to be a long day. So I tried to jump on this bike that was way too big, and needless to say, I busted my ass repeatedly. And if you know my dad, then you know he laughed at every fall and refused to let me put that bike down and quit. This infuriated me, but it made me want to ride that bike even more. And at the end of the day, I still didn't have it down, and honestly, I didn't even want that damn bike anymore. But the next day, we were out there again, and by day 3, I was up and down that block popping wheelies. Right. Now it took years before I could look back and reflect on that day and realize that at 5 years old, my dad taught me to tackle problems even when I felt like they were too big for me. He taught me that sometimes I was going to fall down and it was going to hurt, but to always get back up and try again. Most importantly, he taught me that day that life isn't fair and sometimes people are going to laugh at your misfortunes, but instead of giving up or losing my cool, I could use their laughter as inspiration to press forward. I know that this probably doesn't sound like the traditional story of a father teaches his son, but I honestly believe that a mere 21 years old, he was at the time of this story, he was being as good of a father as he was capable of being at the time, and I'm grateful for those memories with him, whether they were traditional or not. And let's be honest, he wasn't the greatest father then. Hell, he was an even worse husband. But the reason you're out here today is because the one thing he was good at being is a friend. If your car was broke down, you could call my pops. If you were moving into a new home and you needed help moving, you could call my pops. If it was one of those days you were feeling down and you just needed to laugh, who would you call? Him. You know, sometimes his smartass wit drove me crazy, but I honestly think it's going to be the thing I miss about him the most. Some people might not think he was very special, but I'd like you all to stop for a second and look around the room you're sitting in, and you'll see a room full of special and amazing people, and that right there tells me that if all of you special people are here today to celebrate the life of my father, then he must have been some kind of special too. I mean, look at the women that he had children with. Each one of you has a very special kind of car. I'm usually tattooed. I know this because each one of you has given me unconditional love, and though my father probably didn't deserve your love and forgiveness all the time, you also found it in your hearts to forgive him. That right there alone tells me that my dad was special because you all are strong, intelligent women with great judgment. I don't know how the guy pulled it off. Damn, he knew how to pick them. Teresa, Lisa, my mother, Tanya, I can't express enough to you how grateful both me and my father are, and forever will be appreciated for all you've done for us both. I love you all so very much, and thank you for being here to celebrate the life of David J. Marchese Sr. May you ride in heaven, Dad. You'll be missed forever, David J.
Oh, that was Stephanie.